Are we underwater on our mortgage? This question comes from Tree in Brooklyn. Hi, I'm sure I'm going to be eviscerated for this silly question, but I'm too embarrassed to ask people I know. Understandable. Short story is, my husband and I bought a house in May. We just got a letter from the county tax assessor with a fair market value that is much less than what we paid, even with our 20% down payment, less than what we owe on our mortgage. Is this a good representation of our home's value? The letter notes the assessment happened in 2021 before we bought the house, but I'm confused because while we paid a lot, we had an appraisal gap in May of only about 5K. So are we underwater? How bad is this? More details if you like. All right, let's go with the details. I like this. It's a nice, modest house in a transitional neighborhood. I don't know what they mean by transitional. We wanted to buy because we have a toddler and live in an expensive western city where rent keeps going up. Our current mortgage is exactly what we were paying in rent, which is just about 30% of our net pay. Perfect. I wish it were less, but in 2022, I don't see a way around that. We are public employees and really felt a pinch of inflation. Both of us were very hesitant to buy and have a lot of reservations about property ownership in general, as both sets of parents lost almost everything in 2008. Okay, that was a long time ago, and those were choices that your parents made, not choices that you made, but that's beside the point. Honestly, if it were not for rent going up 35% in 3 years, we wouldn't have bought. I just want to have stability for my kids that I didn't have growing up. We are zoned for the worst school in town, though we were hoping to sell in 5 to 10 years, and hopefully not at a loss. Yikes. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. First of all, this is the appraisal from the county tax assessor. So usually tax appraisals are lower than market value, which is a good thing because your property taxes are based on what the county tax assessor determines is the value of your home. So you want that value to be low. Second of all, underwater on mortgage is a phrase that sounds negative, but truly, when you get a loan like this, the interest is calculated in the total amount of the loan. So technically, the loan is for more than the value of the asset that you're purchasing. So, in that way, you will be underwater on your mortgage for the first 5 to 10 years, depending on the payments that you make, the actual interest rate. I mean, all those factors that go into amortizing this payment are, at play here, and they're all unique to your situation. So, finally, are we underwater on our mortgage? Well, yes, you are. But is that a bad thing? Only if you're trying to sell now. Even now, the market value will likely be less than it was when you paid for it a year ago. But the good news is, as long as you're not trying to sell, which it seems like you're going to stay for at least 5 to 10 years, then none of that is relevant. Enjoy your home and be glad that you got a loan at the interest rate that you were comfortable with and you're paying about the same that you were in rent, but now you own this property.